开陆家艇。
哇，发射了！
飞了！
哇！
飞了，飞了！
火箭发射！
哇，这声音真大！
我说能听到声音吗？
声音都能听到！哇，好震撼！火箭发射！
火箭发射！
So, the first artificial sun has officially been launched by China, initiating the prophecy written over 2,000 years ago in the Nazarite Torah of the high priest. And I read as follows. But behold, I saw that the present path of mankind was not the blessed path unto the blessed future, but a dark path of false power. And then I was shown a vision of the future to which this present path will lead. Lo, mankind took the power of the sun and made with it false sons. Yea, they made many false sons, some to explode and kill, others to make warmth and light. Behold, those of false power who created the false sons claimed ownership of the heat and light of the false sons, and made the common people pay for the heat and light. Yea, and they used the exploding sons, which were the false sons made to be weapons, to enslave the people of the world in joyless toil, and to ensnare all the nations in their spidery web of deceit. And with their false power the rich became richer, yea, and the poor became poorer. And the rich of false power built castles for storing money, and caused the oppressed people to store their money in those castles. For in this way the oppressors could use the money of them they oppressed to make themselves more money, so as to strengthen their power over the oppressed. And the money was at first gemstones and precious metals, but then became naught but worthless paper. And the paper symbolized certain values, and was given to the oppressed as wages for their toil. But this system was unjust, for the value assigned to the work of the oppressor was enough to feed 10,000 children, but the value assigned to the work of the oppressed was barely enough to feed a family, and often not even that. Then, as the false power of the oppressor grew even greater, the money was no longer paper, but was enslaved light. Yea, the enslaved light was encoded with symbols of the oppressor, and in order to buy or sell, the oppressed had to take the code of the oppressor and attach it to their own names. This is going to touch over into the metaverse and cryptocurrency, which I have to bring a very serious message about the truth behind cryptocurrency, the truth behind smart contracts, the truth behind the blockchain, and of course, the truth, the full truth behind the metaverse, according to the secret scrolls that we have coming from the high priesthoods in Africa, the Black Root Science, the sacred scroll of the Nazarites, the secrets of the Holy Mountain. And it's very important that this message gets to the world, but I'm not going to bring that message in this video. We're going to bring the message about the sun. Now we're going to shift to the Black Root Science and show you guys why an artificial sun could never compensate, never replace the actual sun. Because modern scientists cannot duplicate all aspects of the sun, and they can't duplicate all the different ways that the sun and the earth are interacting in order to formulate that stable relationship that they've had for billions of and trillions of years. Black Root Science, chapter 29, the first appearance of light. Back on the first earth, many trillions of years before the other suns are formed, about 500 billion years since the beginning of the universe, the first sun has condensed through its first 3 stages of magnetism, electricity, and light. The sun is still invisible. The first earth is still enveloped in the darkness of its own ether, which only extends relatively a short distance beyond the earth's atmosphere, which is about 1 million miles. Soon after, the sun's light condenses further and becomes ether. This ether extends to the boundaries of the solar system and beyond, and will soon meet up with the ethers of other star systems as they come into being, and eventually cover all space. The appearance of the ether for the first time allows the movement of light across the space. Light depends on ether to travel and to be seen, just like sound depends on air to travel and be heard. Modern scientists are oftentimes puzzled by the sudden appearance of a star in a region where their telescopes revealed no star before. Usually they explain this by saying they did not have a strong enough telescope or due to careless observation or some such explanation. The real reason is that the star was there all the time, forming over 1 trillion years, but had not yet condensed an etheric substance by which its light could be seen. The entire spectrum of light and color, from red to violet and infrared to ultraviolet, requires ether to travel and cannot be detected otherwise. When the ether condenses enough to provide movement of light, the star appears instantly, as if a star just appeared out of nowhere, when in fact it had been there all along, invisible. As soon as the ether of the first sun appears, the first earth is suddenly and instantly lit with physical light for the first time. This is heralded as the creation of the first moment of time in our universe. As soon as the light reaches the earth, magnetism and electricity from the sun also reach it. These two substances also travel in the ether, the dark womb of space. The sun's magnetic interaction with the earth caused a differentiation of the earth's magnetic poles, which were previously undifferentiated. They now obtain opposite polarities. The sun's electrical substance also interacts with that of the earth and causes the first movement of electrical currents. This electrical movement is the first signal for the development of growth and movement on earth, and initiates the development of new evolutionary type plants and animals from the perfect totems. The electrical and magnetic movements also cause the first circulation of currents, both of air and water. The waters of earth are separated for the first time, allowing clouds to form and rain and rivers to flow, which had been perfectly still before then. The electrical movement due to the appearance of the sun also caused many other kinds of movements, growth and separations on earth. But perhaps the most significant is the first movement of the earth about its own axis. So now the secrets from the Blackroot Science are teaching us that we not only get light and warmth from the sun, but we also get a magnetic, electric, and a spectrum of light interaction between the earth and the sun that is very essential for the separation of the poles, having a, like they say, a positive and negative polarity, right? And then movement of the electrical currents for the waters and everything. So artificial suns are not going to give us that. That has to be condensed organically from the ether. Now we even have confirmation of this secret knowledge in the Nazarite Torah of the high priest. Even the Nazarite secret scrolls give this same teaching. So I'm going to end this video by verifying that teaching from the Blackroot Science about the real way suns come into existence, first invisibly and then visibly once it condenses its etheric substance. Let's go to the book of Genesis chapter 7 in the real Nazarite Torah of the high priest. Genesis chapter 7 verse 45. When Abraham and Sarah came to this realm to assist the great work of Elohim, the realm was bohu, a void, and they chanted the great invocation of Elohim, which is, let there be light, and they planted the star seed, which was the seed of our sun. As they watched the seed grow, they said, it now emanates spiritual light into this darkness, spiritual light. It is good seed. And the birth of the spiritual light was during the first great day of the creation of our world. Then said Abraham to Sarah, now let the spiritual light form a body of light, which will be our temple. Sarah said, yes, I will plant the seed of air, ether, air. It shall be the breath of life for the body of light. And she planted the seed of air, and the spiritual light emanated a body of fire. Abraham and Sarah said, it is good seed. And that was the second day of the creation of our world. Then Abraham and Sarah cast into the body of fire the seed of water, so that the vapor could come forth from the fire to become clouds, for they knew that they would make worlds that would need water. And the vapors came forth and formed primal clouds. They said, it is good seed. And that was the third great day of the creation of our world. Literally, we just heard from two different sources giving the same account. One in a very parabolistic format, of course, written 2,000 years ago, we can expect that. And the other coming from the Blackroot Science, which is just giving us a very straight and direct, non-coded way of telling us the history, the real history of how the gods created the sun. People created the sun. Even in the Nazarite Torah, People, Abraham and Sarah. Listen very closely. You, my people, are the descendants of those great, long-lived gods who created this universe, created the suns and the stars, even the book of Genesis, the real book of Genesis, not the book of Genesis from the Luciferian priesthood. The priesthood of Lucifer is a thing. They are out there. They are deceiving the world. They do want you to not look inside yourself and know the truth of who you really are. They do want you to not know your true power. Don't be fooled, my people. We got a very powerful message coming about this cryptocurrency, the metaverse, the NFTs, all of this digital reality, artificial world. And I need everybody to prepare your hearts and minds, because we must know this information going forward, because we are the generation that's going to break the cycle and going to demonstrate the true power of God for this day and age, so our generation can be restored unto our true power, true throne. Peace, divine unity.
If you decide you want to be rich, all you got to do is start. Why not? Who gonna stop you? Unless you tell it to the wrong person. Mama, listen to me. I'm going to be rich. Ain't anybody rich in this family. Go in there and sit down somewhere. Get yourself a good job. Oh, mama, you must be right. No, mama could be wrong. Because what you have in your imagination, God didn't show it to your mama. I'm sorry. He showed it to you. Listen to me. If y'all don't do nothing else, write everything you imagine down. Write it all down. Pray about it and watch me.
Deep the being descended from Mayan ruins. Larry Hoover's finest, the Malcolm X of the music. And walking in your purpose, then while you walking, you're useless. Divine love, but you can call it cosmic Kama Sutra. I'm waking up the planet while spitting the face of these racists who be trying to vaccinate us, but